Are you emailing too much or not enough? Either way, you're probably leaving money and some trust on the table. Emailing your list can feel risky. What if they unsubscribe? What if they reply back with some kind of negative comment? What if you feel like you're bothering them in the inbox? That's not the whole point of building an email list. We're going to build our email list to be able to stay in touch with our customers and to build that consistency and trust that successful businesses know works. An even bigger risk is not emailing your list at all and staying totally silent. This fear keeps smart business owners quiet, and it's costing them way more than they realize. I used to second guess every email I had to send, but once I started to make this subtle shift and I helped thousands of other people do it, I started to build trust and build consistency, all without losing my sanity. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how often to email your list and why everything changes once you see it this way. Do you ever think about the real cost of mailing your list too infrequently? Let me tell you a story. I met a guy once who was emailing his list once every month. He sent a monthly newsletter, a roundup of recent podcasts and content and YouTube videos that he had recorded. And there's a big problem with that. The list only hears from you once a month. And if they miss a month, then they hear from you once every 2 months. If they miss 2 emails, they're going to hear from you once every 90 days. And by then, they might as well be deleted because they're ice cold. So think of it this way. Every time you skip sending an email to your list, people forget why they signed up in the first place. Infrequent emails aren't polite. It's really risky. That one email that you didn't send, that might have been your last chance to actually matter to them. But if emailing too little is dangerous, what happens when you go in the total opposite direction? Years ago, a friend of mine challenged me to email my list every day, and it was the month of October, a month with 31 days, the longest month of the year. And I took him up on the dare. I'd been mailing my list infrequently before that. A few times a week. Sometimes I would go weeks between emailing my list. And I sent an email every day, unannounced, to my list. And a funny thing happened. Sure, there were some unsubscribes in the beginning, but over the 31 days, people opened more of the emails, clicked more of the links, replied, and I saw great results from mailing my list more often. I used to be totally frozen in fear of mailing my list too often, and that's what led me to mail my list really inconsistently. One week I would send 2 emails, the next week I would send none, the next week I would send 3 because I had a promotion coming up, and I didn't want to overdo it. I lived in constant fear that people would unsubscribe and my list would shrink, and people would be mad at me and they would send me nasty comments and replies. And that's not what happened. Here's the reframe that I found really useful. People joined my email list because they were stuck in some way and needed help, because they downloaded my lead magnet. This is kind of like when I go hiking in Colorado and imagine I have a full camelback full of cool, refreshing, icy water, even stocked with electrolytes. And I walk by somebody on the side of the road and they are overheating. They've been hiking too hard in the hot Colorado sun at altitude, far from the shade of a tree, and they're really suffering. Who would I be to deny them a glass of my cool, icy, refreshing, electrolyte-filled water? They need some help, and I'm going to help them. And I see my email list as the same thing. People join my list asking for help, and I'm here to help them. So don't see your emails as interruptions, see them as helping. Remember, people raised their hand when they joined your email list because they had something going on in their life and they wanted some relief. Don't withhold it because of some made-up backlash that's likely just in your imagination. And here's the fun part. The more emails I send, the more I actually sell. So why does it work that way? Here's my actual email cadence. Starting on January 1st, 2022, I committed to sending a daily email to my list. And not just any kind of email, but a story-based email that would build real connection so I could consistently show up as a character in their inbox. I want people to see my name in their inbox and wonder what I'm up to that day, open the email, read the story, apply the lesson, and take the action that I recommend they take inside of that email. But here's the truth I don't talk about that often. When I'm doing a promotion, let's say I have a 4-day open cart to join my email school membership, and there's some bonus going away on Thursday night. It's not uncommon for me to send 2 emails that day, sometimes 3, and sometimes 4 emails. Every time I send an email, especially during a promotion, I make more sales. I know that might sound like a lot, but it really works. And I want you to think about this. You're the only person that sees every single email you send. If you're pretty good at email marketing and you're pretty consistent and you keep your list pretty tidy, you're going to have a 30 to 35% open rate, which is a 65 to 70% not open rate. My wife works from home as well, and she keeps her laptop on our kitchen counter. And one night while she was making dinner, she had her laptop open and I could see her inbox. And she's one of those people that has thousands of unread emails. Now I have a few hundred, but thousands might be more common than you think. Not every person is going to read every single email that you send. You're the only one that's going to see them all. Your list isn't some fragile inbox. It's likely to break at any second. It's a constantly shifting feed. The more emails you send are more chances to connect with your audience and help them. 3 emails across 6 weeks or 3 emails across 3 days. That might be the difference between being remembered and being forgotten. I want you to rethink your whole positioning on email to begin with. A lot of people call this concept email marketing, but it's much more than marketing. The way I see emails is actually leadership in the inbox. You're telling your audience what's important. What do they need to be paying attention to? What action should they be taking? What perils should they be watching out for? You're leading them through the consistent emails that you send. And the more consistent we are with our messages, that builds real connection. And the framing of us being helpful with our emails and seeing them more as contributions, that puts us in a place of service to our audience. And being on your email list is not a hostage situation. People don't have to stay. If they've lost interest or their priorities have changed, they're always free to go. Don't forget that. In the very early days of my email list, I used to watch my unsubscribes, and I would see my friends would leave or people that I knew would unsubscribe, and it really hurt my feelings. But as the business grew, I realized that doesn't matter. Those people don't need my help right now. Those unsubscribes are actually good. It's inspiration for me to replace them with the right people who do need my help right now, and they do want to work with me. And speaking of the right people, I put together an AI-boosted lead magnet template. It's in the description below. It'll show you all the prompts that I use to chat with one of your favorite AI models to build an awesome lead magnet that'll attract the right people at the right time so you can help them. So think of it this way. Whenever somebody joins your list, they're not asking to be left alone. They're asking to be led. So lead them. And you can stop thinking so much about frequency and start thinking much more about consistency and connection. Now, of course, nothing about this matters as far as frequency if your emails don't get opened. And so click the link on the screen and I'll show you how to dramatically improve your open rates. And it's not even about subject lines. Click to watch it now and I'll see you there.